All right. Welcome to the podcast. I have another special guest. All my guests are special. This one, a little extra special. We got Coach JVB in the building. Introduce yourself. Tell everyone a little bit about you.
Hi, John. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to sit down and chat with you. My name is Jennifer, but definitely call me Jenny. I have been helping women live more confidently in their bodies for more than 15 years now through my company, Team Strong Girls. And I truly believe that fitness is a vessel to help women feel strong, confident, and empowered in their bodies and their lives. And my passion is supporting women's journeys to live their best lives. And now stepping into the shoes of the president of Strong Fitness magazine, it's allowed me to further expand my global impact to help more women find their confidence and strength. And it all starts with fitness. I feel like it all starts with fitness. Once you start there, it trickles down into every aspect of your life, and it just gives you that clarity. Like, I've had so many women been with me for years, and now they're starting their own careers in fitness. So it's just such a fantastic thing to be a part of, and that's what I'm all about.
I love it. And clearly you're very much a leader in the industry. And I love that you use the word strong in your company. I mean, strong girls, strong women, everything like that. It's very empowering. And I think that's great leadership for other women and a role model for the younger generations coming up, because women in fitness, and I'm sure you can speak to this, like throughout the
Yeah.
80s or 90s or early 2000s, like there's so much like garbage information out there for like
Hmm.
women specific protein powders or women specific dumbbells. Like all that stuff is baloney. So I'm glad you kind of take it and you help people the way they need to be helped and the way it should work out. And clearly people love you as a coach because everyone's seeing
Oh, thank
results.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think the word strong for women is just so much more than physical strength, right? It's like that mental strength. It's like that empowerment, that confidence that you feel. So it means so much more than just lifting up dumbbells, right?
Absolutely, extra meaning. And I tell people all the time, like men have it easy when it comes to fitness. Men really do have it a lot easier than women. Women face a lot of internal pressures. I know all the moms and women I work with, like they have the most pressure on themselves to perform, to be there for their families, plus to perform for their own fitness. And if something goes wrong, it can kind of crumble.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
external pressures between like social media and influencers
Mhm.
and whatever else they're surrounded by. Like there's so much pressure on women, not to mention like the body struggles you guys have that men don't. Again,
Yeah.
it's we have it so much easier. So I'm always excited to talk to other women in the fitness industry because again, you set such a precedent for the industry that I think is overlooked.
Yeah. I started in fitness at like age 18. Like I was always into dance, right? So I started dance at an early age. I danced at the National Ballet School of Canada, and I was a very active kid. And then I started training in the gym, 16, 17. And then I became a personal trainer at age 18. And at that time, they're like picking up a fitness magazine was like, you were seeing these girls that had probably just competed, and they were like shredded to the bone. And when I started to experiment, just being in the gym atmosphere, being around those types of people, and starting to get some pretty bad dieting advice, like thinking I had to do all of this, cutting carbs, overdoing cardio just to get in shape for like a fitness magazine or a photo shoot. And so I did all of that. And I even had an eating disorder just because of all of these extra pressures. And I was like 18 in my 20s, like in my mid 20s at this time. And I mean, I remember specifically one time when I was training a client, I was training them on the gym floor, and I fainted while I was training a client. And I just remember this moment because it was my aha moment to be like, this isn't healthy. I was training for a photo shoot at the time. Was eating no carbs. I was like doing double day cardio, basically eating nothing, like probably eating like 500 to 600 calories a day at that point.
Wow.
And yeah, and that's when I was like, you know what? this has got to stop. Like, this is not healthy. Like, here I am training other people to be their best versions of themselves, preaching healthy lifestyle, eating well, working out. And I was the unhealthiest person in the room. So I knew at that point, like, I gotta do something about this, or I'm not going to live a very long life. That was really when went back to school for holistic nutrition. I learned how to eat. I mean, this was a process. It wasn't just that, but I learned how to train smarter, not harder, lifting weights to shape the body, eating more food, like not being afraid of food. And this is what I call finding my strong. Like, I really found to focus on strength and not losing anymore. And that was a really huge mindset shift for me. And at that point, I wanted every single woman to feel the way I did, to feel confident, to feel empowered, because it is hard being a woman. You're seeing all of, and especially at that time, you're just seeing like the models at that time that were so skinny, and I didn't fit uh that body type. But then I was also like not big enough to be a fitness person. Like, there was just so many things coming at me. But when I really started to fuel my body properly and work out and really love my body, that's the message I wanted to spread to all women and help them find that confidence, empowerment, and strength as well. And that's when I started Team Strong Girls.
That's amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I didn't realize it got to the point of fainting on the gym floor. That sounds scary to say the
Yeah.
least. But like you said, like you were super depleted, no energy, but yeah, here you were kind of coaching people to be their
Hmm.
healthiest self, right? So, and I think like in speaking with so many fit pros, it's the ones that have that shift. I think that they're able to change their outlook on fitness, their own and others, that last in the industry and become leaders. Like you could have continued on the path and just like sucked it up and kept doing what you're doing, but you saw an opportunity to change because you realized that it wasn't working. It wasn't the way
Yep.
you wanted to live.
Yep.
Um, that was completely a game changer for you, completely
Oh,
lifestyle shift. Yeah.
completely, completely. I mean, I think if I were to just like stick to that life at the time and I didn't have that wake up call, I would have probably, gone down the road of competing and then, having that up and down. I've never competed. I've helped my clients get up on stage, and now I don't do that anymore. I help them more, celebrate with a nice fun fitness photo shoot. We can chat about that a little bit
Yeah.
later. But yeah, like I think that moment really was a wake up call for me. Like, it could have gone total opposite. So yeah, I'm very, very thankful for that.
Yeah. And how old were you when that kind of happened? Like early 20s, you're saying?
Yeah, I was 20. Like, so I started personal trainer at age 18, then I was working for a supplement company and still training clients on the side. So yeah, I was about 25 when that happened.
Yeah, that's young. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a good time. It's a good time to make that shift though. I think for me, it was probably around the same age. It was like 20, 24, 25, where I was like skinny fat almost. Like I lost a
Mhm.
bunch of weight, but I still didn't have what I wanted to have. So that's kind of
Yeah.
where my shift. I mean, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of us initially just get influenced by bodybuilding culture
Yeah.
because I think that's just how North America was brought into fitness as a
Yep.
popular thing. But it's damaged a lot of people and it makes the journey so much harder for so many people. And I think I see for myself as my job to like help people avoid the mistakes I made because in 2021 now, you don't have to do all the things that people did in the 90s or early 2000s because it's been proven that it does not help. It doesn't work. It makes life worse. Last thing I want to see someone faint on the gym floor as well, right? Like if,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, you're so right. And I feel like the fitness industry, I don't know, I would love your opinion on this, but I feel like the fitness industry has really, or is starting to make that shift where everybody's sharing more of like a softer look and like really showing you like we don't walk around ripped and lean all the time. So I love that. We for for strong, we showcase all different body types, all different stages of people's journey, because I'm on a mission to show people that, like, you can celebrate yourself at any stage. You don't have to walk around like super ripped and super lean all the time, or like nor does anybody really do that. And if they're just showing pictures of that, it's only for maybe like a month or two out of the year, right?
Yeah. Well, the common thing with Fit Pros, and I'm guilty too, is getting lean for a photo shoot and then using those photos for months on end because that's when you're at your leanest.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's true. I mean, more and more people are sharing because I think people want to learn about the coach themselves or just about other figures in the industry. They don't want to necessarily be bombarded with information as much anymore either. It's more learning and connecting with other human beings and relating to the struggles that we're all having. Because
yep,
I think sometimes people assume that fitness coaches, personal trainers, that like we live on this next level of like health all the time, no screw ups, we're perfect. And
yeah.
like that's completely backwards. Like
No,
the
no.
amount of times I've like binged on a food or skipped a workout or just had no motivation to do anything, it happens all the time.
It
I'm sure you can do
happens.
that too as a
Yeah.
parent. Yeah.
Yeah, I like and even with well, I mean the strong girls lifestyle, like I'm really big on food flexibility. And so like even when some of my friends like I'll go well, haven't been anywhere in a year, but
Yeah.
let's just talk about the pre-COVID world.
Seriously.
Uh when I'm going to like a party, like my friends will be like, "Don't worry, Johnny, I have like all the healthy stuff out for you." And I'm like, do you even read anything that I write? Like, I'm all about flexibility. Like, I eat pizza. I don't ever want to eat different from my kids. So if my kids are going to a birthday party and enjoying pizza and cake, I'm going to enjoy pizza and cake with them.
I love that. That's perfect. I use that example for so many people, for so many parents. I tell them like, look, you want to dive into this low carb lifestyle?
Yeah.
Picture this. Your kid's birthday is coming up. What are you going to do? Are you going
Mm-hmm.
to tell them they can't have cake because you can't have cake?
Yeah.
Are you going to just sit back and watch your entire family eat cake? Or are you going to live your life?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're not,
Mm-hmm.
most people here, we're not competitors. We're not into that lifestyle where it's like
Yeah.
almost all or nothing. It's
Yeah.
flexibility of food choices, flexibility of living. And yeah, days are going to go your way and days aren't. But at the end of the day, it's about the life we're creating, not kind of like the one meal you have to keep skipping.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
when you're too restrictive, and you see this probably all the time with your clients, when you're too restrictive, you're just not going to stick with it, and then that's what's going to happen. That vicious cycle of, you're just going to be like, I can't stick with this. And then go back to, because you didn't really learn how to eat. Um, and my goal with all of my strong girls clients is that I teach them how to eat so they don't have to rely on a meal plan moving
Nice.
forward. Like they're set for life, right?
That was gonna be my next question actually, is like your thoughts on meal plans. Cause every time someone's asked me for a meal plan, I'm like, look, that's not what you need. As
Yeah.
easy it would be for me to like give you, here's a list of foods for you to eat.
Mhm.
And yeah, you'll probably stick to it for like a couple weeks. But the minute like maybe COVID restrictions open and you want to go to the bar, well, I'm sorry, none of the bar food's on your meal plan, right?
Yeah.
Birthday parties, same thing. Like you're not gonna be able to stick to it. So with you and your clients, I just assume that you give them like maybe templates or like here's some ideas, but to have some flexibility with their choices.
Yeah, so I have a systematic approach. I walk them through a success path because most people that are coming in the door to work with me do want to lose some body fat, right? Majority of not everyone, but majority.
Mhm.
So when that, I really show them, okay, this is what we have to do from the beginning. And I do lay out a meal plan for them. However, the first 2 weeks, after that first 2 weeks, then I start to really teach them how to take that meal plan and show them that they can really have any food. I have a food substitution calculator that I give them access to, and they really learn how they can technically eat anything within that structured plan. So it's all about structure at the beginning and really learning how to eat for your size, right? Or for um, your your weight loss goal, let's say.
Mhm.
But then from there on, I'm teaching you how to start to intuitively eat. So, yeah, you had to do this at the beginning because we have to establish some structure in order to achieve some weight loss. And then from here on, we're going to start teaching you how to intuitively eat to show you how to keep it off and how you can enjoy life forever, like, you don't like, this is a maintainable, sustainable way. And you can really eat any foods that you want.
How do you deal with clients who don't, I don't say don't believe you, but like find it too good to be true to be able to have a slice of pizza once a week?
Um, you know what? Maybe they're coming in the door thinking that, but
Yeah.
after the first month, of me walking them through, especially that first 2 weeks, and then showing them free meal strategies, how to start including those into your weekly regime. I mean, they get it pretty quickly.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
always fun. It's always fun to be like, yes, you can have those foods. And yeah, it's like a constant telling you yes, because I think majority of people go into like a diet or a coaching program assuming they're not allowed to have XYZ because
Yeah.
that's been the common structure, right?
Yeah.
Anytime you try to lose fat, you have to cut these out. And then they come to me or yourself or other great coaches and they're like, oh, I can have that. Oh, I can have that too. And they're like, they're elated, but to the point where like they're skeptical. He's like, are you sure?
Yes.
Because like I
Yeah.
read that I can't have this because of this. And I'm like, no, you can. Like it's very I like to empower people as well. Like that's how I see it. Like take back control with your food choices and not feel like you can't have because the
Yeah,
mentality
absolutely.
sucks. Yeah.
Absolutely. Not I do have a lot of girls that are coming in. They're like, "Are you sure I can have this amount of carbs?" And I'm like, "Well, let's just give it a try and then you tell me how you're feeling." And then over the next couple weeks. And then I also show them other case studies. Like I also show them fellow strong girls that might have felt the same way that they are feeling and then show them their results, right? So that often helps. And community is a big one that helps. We have a private Facebook forum. That's awesome. I mean, so many of our clients are on there, like our OG strong girls, I call
Nice.
them. And so everybody's willing to help. One of the biggest, I guess, struggles I would say is the first 2 weeks when, they realize that it's actually a lot of food. And so they're feeling a little bit full. And
Yeah.
so that one of their first, oh my God, I don't know if I could eat all of this. And then all the other girls on the page was like, it's only because your metabolism's a little sluggish. Just give it that 2 to 3 weeks. Like, and then, and they're all motivated again. Okay, I'm going to try to continue to eat. And then by the third or fourth week, their metabolism has picked up and that hunger has kicked in a little bit, which is a good sign, right?
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, your community is super strong. I see it on Instagram all the time. Like you got the reshares and everyone's posting about their programs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. It's even more so I'd argue now, like through the last year, community, even if it's virtual, is so much more
Mhm.
important, right? Like I've started introducing group coaching calls through Zoom with my clients every week, so we can all just hop on and just and chat and have fun.
Yeah.
And like it's not kind of a lesson or a
No.
lecture. It's like we talk about just whatever, share some wins with each other, recipes, anything like
Yes.
that. Yeah, it's been awesome.
It's
Just
connection, right? People need
yeah,
that connection. And we've actually started doing that as well once a week. All of our one-on-one clients hop on to a Zoom chat. And it's like you're saying, it's just that connection because one person can bring up, a struggle or, something that they're dealing with. And everyone else, probably felt the same way too. So it's just that nice way to feel connected and that you're not alone in the process, right?
yeah, 100%. Because I mean, as coaches, we tell clients things all the time, but sometimes hearing it from a fellow client, it
Hmm.
resonates with you a little bit more than just saying, "Oh yeah, coach is saying this," kind of thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, I wanted to ask how because you brought it up already, how the photo shoot thing came about with the team.
Yeah. So we started doing this. We started actually doing this right away. So I started Team Strong Girls in 2012. And the reason why I feel like we were so successful right off the bat was showcasing client transformations. And just to give you a little bit of background, my husband and I come from the supplement industry, and he worked for Muscle Tech, and so he was in charge of like all the dieting campaigns. So basically, like for like their hydroxy cut, he would find the before and afters. Okay,
Nice.
so yeah, so and there would be like fitness girls that had just had a baby, that type of thing that like
Mhm.
he knew would get in shape in that, specific amount of time. So when we got out of the supplement industry, we were still sort of getting contracts for that. He was. So we would find, a candidate that would lose weight in a specific amount of time. Now, this is also the reason why I started Team Strong Girls, because I had to diet these people down super hard because it was for a specific campaign. They needed to lose a certain amount of weight in a short period of time, which was
Oh,
usually around 12 weeks. Now, and they would come in, they would shoot the before, and then they would shoot the after at the 12-week mark. It was one time I was walking in a grocery store, and I bumped into one of the candidates that just, had done a transformation with us maybe a few months back, and she had gained all the weight back plus more.
wow.
And she was like, "Hey, Jenny," she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed to see you. I have to come back to you. I have to get back on your program because it worked." And I'm thinking in my head, well, no, it did not work. Right. I'm like, oh my God, I felt so horrible. And that's when I turned to Vince and I'm like, I want to do this, but I want to do it like our way. I don't want to have to like cram it in 12 weeks, but I still saw them at the end of the transformation, like when they were in front of the camera, just the way they were so proud of themselves. They lit up, like they had this full photo shoot experience. So I told Vince, I still want to do that. Like I still want to give these people that experience, that celebration, but I don't want to have it to be like you have to lose 25 pounds in
Yeah.
12 weeks. That's way too aggressive. So we did it our way. I mean, I offered like eight girls that I was running a boot camp. I offered 8 people just this like transformation package. I didn't really put a timeline on it, but I said we're going to do a really fun photo shoot at the end. And that's exactly what we did. And they had the best time. Like it was just, they never thought they would do something like that, and just to see themselves, I like behind the camera, looking so glamorous and beautiful and feeling so confident and strong and empowered. I was like, I want to offer this to every single woman I work with. So that's what we do. I don't put timelines on anything, but we celebrate with a fitness photo shoot, and it's truly amazing. Like it really, really is. So many of my girls have done like 5 or 6 now. They
That's
just love
awesome.
it. And now they've like even become coaches themselves because they're using these awesome images for their own social media and getting out there more and sharing more of their story. So that's really how it all began, and we continue to do that, and I always say it's a celebration of their journey.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's one of the most empowering things I think that a woman can do for themselves, or you
Mhm.
setting up for them, is because a lot of women they're shy, they're camera shy, they're not confident, they don't feel like they're worthy of that. And you're
Yeah.
putting all the power back in their hands and they're loving it clear, which is awesome. I think that's so great.
Yeah,
Um,
so many women like want to like hide behind the camera, like they're not in pictures with their kids. So to allow them to, document their hard work, their journey, and now to give them that confidence that they're going to jump in photos with their family, with their kids, like that's just a priceless gift.
100%. When you so when you set it up for them, are they kind of in control of like when the shoot happens? Because you said you don't set timelines. How does that play
Yeah,
out?
so typically what I'll do is I'll start working with somebody at first, and I tell them right from the beginning, because sometimes people will book a call with me and they'll be like, I want to shoot on this date. And
Yeah.
I say, well, I have to work with you first, right? Because I want to make sure that they get what they want. Like I want to make sure that they're feeling great. And it's not only the physical, it's also the mental too. Like I don't want anybody to get in front of the camera that is picking their body apart, every check-in and not feeling worthy. Like we have to work on that inside before we do something like that. So I usually like to work with the client first, and I'll open up that conversation like a month or two into coaching with me, and then we can come up with a game plan of when we're going to shoot. If we're talking like an approximate timeline, usually my girls will end up shooting between the 6 to 9 month mark of working with me.
I was
And
gonna
sometimes longer, sometimes a little shorter, depending
yeah,
where they are.
which is good. And that's the more people understand that, I think the more helpful it'll be for the general public, because again, there's a lot of marketing of like 12-week transformations and 16-week transformations. One reality, like it's more than that. Like you
Yeah.
could transform in 12 weeks, but you're probably not going to feel too good.
Yeah.
You might have like some extra body dysmorphia by the end of it, because you're in this rush for this date, which makes it even more stressful, right? And increasing that stress is going to make the process harder too. So for you to just like talk about it, sit back, don't rush it, and then talk about when you guys are ready. I think that's a great way to do it. And clearly you've seen success with it. So it's
Yeah, and I don't ever want to like coach anybody just for a specific goal. Like I
mhm,
feel like, and that's why I really position it as a celebration, and it's just the beginning, right? I don't want to say, okay, we're going to get you ready for this goal and then that's it. No, this is like part of the whole journey. It's not an end goal.
yeah, that's awesome. Let's shift gears here. So
Mhm.
something I like to talk about either on podcasts or videos or just in general with people is the amount of hats that I wear, both as a coach, parent, husband, dad, all that stuff, athlete. How many hats do you currently wear? Because I assume you have. If we had a more metaphorical hat rack, it'd be full right now.
Yeah. It's definitely a balancing act, right? So I'm a coach, I'm a president, I'm a coach of coaches, I'm a mom first and a wife, right? So it is a lot of hats. And what I learned when I first became a mom 6 years ago now is that I have to be super organized, and I have to plan around the most important things in my life. So, family and my sons are the most important, and I have to schedule that in my schedule and then everything around it. Right. So, and then I took over Strong Fitness magazine back in September with my husband Vince. So that's just another, it's been fun. It's been amazing, but it's another whole beast on its
Yeah.
own, right? So it's just becoming really, really organized with my schedule and saying no to things too, which is a
Hmm.
really big one. And I'm sure you find the same thing, right? You got to say no to certain things so your yeses are that much more stronger, and you can really focus more on the important things.
Yeah, 100%. And honestly, that's something I think I struggle with. Um, what I learned was from, and what you spoke about it, is putting in the most important stuff in your schedule first. Did
Mhm.
you learn that from Craig Valentine? Because that's where I got that from.
I did.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. The perfect week formula.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, for anyone listening and you're unfamiliar, you take everything you have to do each week and you plug in your family time, your date nights, the stuff that you tend to push away and push off and overlook first.
Yeah.
Then you put in like the work, the workouts, the meal planning, the grocery, like all the other stuff. But I think a lot of people do it backwards, right? Everyone looks like, okay, what's my work schedule? And then where can I fit this in? And can I fit this? And
Yeah.
if I can't, I'm going to push it off.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, date nights during COVID are a little bit different,
A
but
little different,
yeah,
to
just a
say the
little bit.
least.
Yeah, we rent a movie and have some popcorn at home is
Yeah.
basically it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, how do you take care of your own fitness while wearing all these hats? Because to me,
Yeah.
that's one of the most intriguing things and the biggest takeaways I think for most moms listening to this.
Yeah. So I and this is something that I've learned too becoming a mom. I know like my time is usually in the morning. Like I always work out from about 9 a.m. to 9:30 or 9:40. Now it's a pretty short workout now. I used to like train for like an hour and a bit. Now it's like, you know what? I'm doing this for not only physical but my mental health too. So I will always do a 40-minute workout. I mean, usually any longer than that it really cuts into my work time. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty strict about that. I've also taken a look at my schedule and figured out things that were big time wasters. I mean, anybody listening who's a mom, they might think this is crazy, but I do order my groceries now. I mean, I've saved like over 103 hours at the grocery store.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I use Instacart. I mean, I do have some help too coming in, but these are things that I had to be like super strict about, or I wouldn't get my stuff done. Or that me time, which is important, which is always my workout, right? So, you have to sort of, you have to really strategically plan out what is important to you. And I firmly believe if you're not taking care of yourself, everyone around you ends up suffering. Okay. Like my mom, she never liked to work out. She has major knee problems now. And some days she can't even walk. And, you know, she's very much involved in my life and very much involved in my boys. My boys absolutely love her. But the past couple times she's come over, she hasn't been able to play with them. And I love my mom to death. I would never talk anything bad about her, but I don't want to be that way, you know?
Mhm.
So I feel like you always have to carve that time out to take care of your physical body and your mental health too. So,
Yeah, they always tell you you can't pour from an empty cup is usually
nope.
the cliche saying I go with, which is true. And I'm living proof. The months on end that I wasn't able to train, um, I wasn't my best self, right?
Yeah,
And as a dad, business owner, coach, I need to show up for other people every single day, and my two boys
absolutely.
especially. So I mean, I appreciate you sharing that.
Oh, yeah.
What
Yeah.
do your boys ever like want to get involved with the workouts?
Yes.
You let them?
So yes and no. My workout time is usually my time, and I usually just go from Monday to Friday. But then
Mhm.
on the weekends, we'll do something together. Like we'll go outside together, and they like to do like a mommy's boot camp. So they'll copy me,
That's
like
cute.
like burpees, or we'll do like an obstacle course. Now that the weather's nice outside, so we'll always do something active as a family.
Mhm.
But Monday to Friday, it's like my time. I go down to my basement and I work out, I put my headphones on and I
Yep.
listen to music or a podcast, and it's my time.
Which is good. That's important. Yeah.
Mhm.
Protecting your time. And I think again, through the last year of people working from home, they've had a tougher time doing so.
Mhm.
People who aren't used to working from home as like you or I would be, their desk is in their living room or
Yeah.
in the kitchen, and they're surrounded by, it's like work is always there and then food's always there, and it becomes this combination of being stressed out and eating and not being active, and it's been like a nightmarish experience.
Yeah.
So trying to protect your own time becomes super, super important. Time blocks to me are huge. That's
Yes.
one of the things I absolutely love. And sometimes I don't stick to them 100% because I'm a human, but I do like my workouts to be alone time as well, especially
Yeah.
now that I have like a full home gym.
Yeah.
During the midst the peak of COVID, I had a couple dumbbells at our old place, and the living room was the gym, was the playroom, was the TV room.
It's everything.
So
I
it was
know.
everything at once. So I had to work out with my son, which is fine. I mean, it's I want to be that role model for him anyway.
Yeah.
My parents
Actions are
weren't.
caught, they're not taught,
Yeah.
right? Like
Oh, I
they're
love that.
yeah. Yeah, like
Nice.
kids are watching all the time. Like the other day, actually Jackson asked me, "Mommy, why don't you work out anymore?" I'm like, "Oh, I work out every day," because he's going to school now, right? So he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, but I don't see you." And I'm like, "No, no, no, I work out every day." And he's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Do you want to come and join me for a workout maybe next week?" He's like, "Yeah." So it was funny. It was like maybe I should work out around him because he was asking me why I don't work out
Yeah,
anymore.
it's tough, right? Because like I mean, you deserve the time to kind of just focus. And I mean, we both come from the fitness industry where I'd argue like sometimes you just have to get in that zone of like, okay, this is I need to work out, I need to like release some stressors or do whatever I have to do. But then sometimes as the parent, you're like, yeah, like I think it'd be good for them to watch or get
See,
involved in
yeah,
that, yeah, that sort of thing. So it's a tough balance for us as well, for sure.
yeah,
What
yeah.
I love to ask, what tips do you have other than the scheduling for busy moms? How do you, with nutrition in kids and fitness in kids and that sort of thing? Because you seem to be just crushing it on every level. I mean, from the
Oh,
outside looking
thank
in.
you. So my big tip is a really good nighttime routine. I'm like pretty strict with this because I feel like if you don't do a great nighttime routine, then your mornings are chaotic. So my nighttime routine always consists of like I love my coffee in the morning. I will set up my coffee like ready to go in the morning. The night before, I will get the kids breakfast ready the night before. I will usually get Jackson's lunch ready the night before. I will put up my workout clothes the night before. Just everything to make a foolproof morning, so it's easy. And I feel like most of us at the end of the day, we're a little tired, right? So you probably put the kids to bed and then that's your time to like relax on the couch. If you can just like extend that a little bit for like half an hour and just do a little bit of prep,
Mhm.
prep some healthy snacks for yourself. If you're working from home, get your breakfast ready, your lunch ready, prepped, because like if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? And that's usually what happens to people that are just like so overwhelmed. They end up grabbing, the wrong things, and don't have time to work out. It's because they didn't do that prep for themselves. Like we prep for our business meetings, we prep for our job, usually the day before, but we don't do that for ourselves. So, and even if you're not home mom, you got to do it too, because you're going to just like kids are unpredictable. So you
Yep.
need to have that like just foolproof yourself in the morning, right?
Mhm.
And that's my big tip. I also think going out for a walk once a day is like huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing for your mind. I mean, if you have your kids, then take them out, get them outdoors for at least 30 minutes to an hour a day if you can.
It's really helpful. Yeah, it's powerful that you compared, like, we don't prep for our health necessarily the same way we prep for work, which
Yep.
I'd argue that the health is more important, right?
Mhm.
Because you can work your ass off. If you're not healthy, your life's going to deteriorate in quality pretty quickly.
100%.
That self-care
100%.
is crucial. I think that's interesting because, like, we're huge on like scheduling and routines. Like, when our 4-year-old was first sleep training and like getting
Mhm.
into a sleep routine, I would stop at nothing to make sure that routine did not falter, because like his
Yes.
sleep to me was the most important thing of all time.
Super
So
important.
even
Mhm.
now, like, we protect like nap times, sleep times,
Yep.
eating schedules to a certain degree, but getting outside during COVID last year was amazing. We were walking like 2-3 times a day, just
Yep.
because, I mean, there wasn't much else for us to do.
Nope.
Nice out. It's good energy burner for the kids, and just mentally, just seeing the sun and feeling
Yeah.
the sun
It
is just, it
improves your
feels,
mood.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's great. So I think that's something that, again, a lot of people might struggle with because they don't want to take the time out of their workday to take
Yeah.
care of their self care. So something I've
Yeah.
done with clients is say, look, like, what time of day is like the least resistant to you be able to go out for a walk? Step away
Yeah.
from your desk, take 15 minutes,
Yep.
20 minutes, whatever you can take,
Yeah.
grab a snack, grab a walk, do something, because you'll feel better than just strapped
Absolutely.
to the computer all day.
Absolutely. It doesn't have, yeah, and like you said, it doesn't have to be like super long. Even if it's 15 minutes, it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
Also, a big one I tell my moms to do is like get a big glass of water, fill it up, and keep it at your nightside table, and then that's the first thing you drink in the
Oh
morning.
yeah.
Mhm.
Smart. Yeah. I didn't think of that actually. That's the first thing I drink in the kitchen, but having it right next to you, I guess there's no way of
Yeah, you just
kind of missing
get out
it.
of bed and you drink it right away, and it's just like just an amazing cleanse for your body, and like mentally you wake up. I do that every morning, and I have my girls do that too. And or if you, even if you have some lemon, put some lemon in there.
Mhm.
But it's a great way to wake up your body and just feel better first thing in the morning.
Yeah, it's a great way to start the day. Plus, I don't know if everyone knows this, like, you need to hydrate before you caffeinate so the coffee
Yes.
can actually hit you a little bit better.
Yeah.
So if you're reaching for coffee first, stop, have some water first.
Yeah.
Coffee will hit you even better. So I think that's that's a quick tip for
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
that's awesome.
what's next for you, for your family, and all the businesses you're crushing right now?
Yeah, so I just started my podcast. It's called the Find Your Strong podcast. I'm super excited about. It's been amazing. I did a full launch strategy and everything. So I had like a good month of just like chatting to people. I'll have you on, by the way. I'll have you on
Yes.
too. Like
Awesome.
chatting to people and like learning so much. And I felt like, I was missing this, like this as a business owner, you're always so in the business that you don't necessarily do other stuff for yourself. And even though this is very much part of the business, I just was learning so much and connecting with people, and it's just been amazing. I mean, now we have Strong Fitness Magazine, and we have strong camps that are starting back up, especially in the United States. So these are amazing, like weekend getaways for women. It's about workouts, it's about connection, empowerment. So we're getting those camps up and running. We're going to do one here probably in January, February of next year. We
Mhm.
have a berry camp actually here in October. But yeah, I'm so excited to like really get like the community going around Strong Fitness Magazine, because that's really what excites me. That's really what Vince and I are good at, about developing that like online community
Mhm.
around. So we have, our 8-week challenges running. We have like we have a bunch of stuff going on with Strong. But I'm just excited to actually go full force with it.
Yeah, it's exciting, and you're bringing print back, basically, right? You guys jumped into a print magazine when arguably more things are going online, but you're building an online community around the print mag, which
Yes, yeah.
huge, super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have like an online membership part of Strong as well. So we do have that whole online aspect. But people really love still getting that hard copy in their hands, right? So I mean, we've our subscription rate's pretty high. We have some great covers planned for the rest of the year, which I'm excited about. So yeah, there's lots of exciting
That's
things
awesome.
coming
That's
down the pipe.
super exciting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everything you guys put out. You put out great stuff all the time.
Thank
I got to
you.
jump into Strong and make a little bit more. I haven't jumped in yet,
Yeah, yeah.
but definitely excited because, again, like I said, everything you've been doing has been awesome to see.
Thanks.
Super empowering for women, which is great. The industry needs more of that for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll send you a link to like a subscription link for it, and with a discount code, even if
Oh,
you want to share
sick.
with your own audience. And
Amazing. Thank you so much.
yeah,
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 definitely.
it's $30 for like 6 issues shipped to your house. So
That's incredible.
it's
Yeah,
awesome.
you
Yeah.
can't really beat that. Yeah.
No.
Awesome.
No. Yep.
Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate it. Now is the time of the podcast where, I mean, the floor is yours. So you can tell people where to find you, what you got going on, anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have did you mean talk about my podcast?
Anything you want. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I started the Find Your Strong podcast a few months back. I feel like, as you know, as fitness professionals, we have so much to talk about and so much to say. So, with coaching women for over 15 years, I wanted to give a behind the scenes look into some of these coaching conversations and show everyone what really happens during a body, or what I like to call a life transformation, because the physical transformation is only part of it. There's the mental strength, confidence, emotional empowerment. That all happens when you start to take better care of yourself. So throughout the years, I've also met some incredible experts along the way. So, and everyone has a story. So the Find Your Strong podcast will dive deep into people's personal stories. So yeah, I have one coming out usually every single week on a Monday. So if you want to go to the Find Your Strong podcast and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. And John, I'll have you on as well. I'm excited to interview
Awesome.
you.
That's exciting.
Mhm.
Where is your podcast widely available? All platforms?
All platforms. Yep.
Yeah.
All
Nice.
platforms. Apple, all of them.
Apple
I'll
Podcasts,
I'll
Spotify,
give you the
Stitcher,
link.
all the
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's something I've noticed too. Like pre-creating this podcast, I was doing like coaching interviews on Facebook, and I've connected with so many other coaches in 2020 with joining the Online Trainer Academy Level 2. It's been amazing connecting with other coaches, because like going into 2020, as like embarrassing as it sounds, I wanted to make more friends in the industry.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not going to any conferences this year. Like it was such a downer because nothing was running anymore. So hopping online and just chatting with people has been awesome. Because again, you like learn from other coaches and just share tips or just share your life experiences is always
Absolutely
super fun. Yeah.
I agree. We all can learn from each other too.
It's true.
So
I think any coach that thinks that their end all be all is in the wrong.
No, we're always learning. We're always learning. And that's how you evolve, and that's how you grow.
Exactly. Yep. 100%. Jenny, thank you so much. Other than the Find Your Strong podcast, where can people find you?
Yep. So you can go to coachjvb.com. I also have teamstronggirls.com. I also have strongfitnessmag.com. Same with my Instagram. It's at coachjvb or at coach_JVB at Team Strong Girls.
I'll put all the links. Don't worry.
Yeah. You'll be able to find me.
We'll get you. This has been a strong collaboration, to say the least. Thank you so much for coming on, Jenny, taking the time. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much, John. Chat soon.
Take care.